The recording should now be going. Switch screens. And all right, welcome back, guys. This is our 25th episode of the Arcadia. Um, I just have a couple very quick announcements before we sort of dive right in. The first is, as I said yesterday, we are extremely close to getting the requisite number of followers on Twitch so that subscriptions can be enabled. So if you haven't already on Twitch, I would appreciate a follow. The other announcement is very similar to the Ophion yesterday. Every single person except for Sabo, sorry Sabo, was given a new token by a lovely artist. I will try to remember this time to actually put her link in the description of the video. That way, if you are interested, you can give her a buzz. I think that's it in the way of my personal announcements. Does anyone have any of their own? Okay. In that case, Captain, I believe you have a very quick personal log, or a not a personal log, a supplemental log.
That's right. Okay. Captain's Log Supplemental. After responding to a distress signal on GSC 942873-JQ74-1, we discovered a downed Borg vessel. Our away team rescued an alien being captured by the Borg for unknown reasons, but before we could attempt a rescue of the remaining captives, another Borg ship dropped out of the transwarp conduit. Were it not for the remaining captured on the surface below, my fight or flight response would be a difficult decision. But there are lives at stake, and I will not give them up without a fight.
Okay. So, again, to kind of set the scene, the Borg have literally just finished their ominous hail. And the words "resistance is futile" kind of ring in your head as you look at the Borg vessel that's centered on the view screen. And the Borg vessel is made up of two slanted rectangular prisms connected to one another via a sort of a smaller rectangular prism all along the long side. It is about as big as the Arcadia A, if not slightly larger. Hailong reports that sensors say there are about 800 Borg life signs aboard, which means right now that means they outnumber you by about 250 people. For the moment, the Borg have only delivered their haunting hail, and they have not taken any hostile actions against you. They haven't locked weapons. They haven't, sort of beamed anyone in your vicinity. However, they are starting to move towards your direction, towards the planet. And now is where I describe the lovely new map everyone's seeing. So this is my attempt at a more, intuitive and perhaps more interesting bit of ship combat. As you can see, it uses a hex grid, and basically 1 to 2 units is going to be close range, 2 to 6 units medium, 7 to 10 long, and 11 plus extreme. And there's a little chart upper right of your screen if you get lost. To kind of describe the auras you're seeing around certain things. So the electromagnetic eddies, these sort of yellow bubbles, they're going to count as fragile cover. And what that means is any effect rolled on the resistance challenge die, it reduces the number of challenge die. So for a base rating, it has 2 challenge die worth of resistance. The other aura of note is the neutron star over there to the left. So long as you are within that bubble, the complication range on all tasks is going to be 18 to 20, and you must spend 2 power at the top of every round to prevent being pulled in by the massive gravity well. Finally, the aura around the planet itself, right below you, that will provide standard 1 cover, 1 challenge die worth of cover. But other than that, did anyone have any very quick shouts in character before we dive into combat proper?
If I remember right, I had addressed the captain because I was on the bridge, and informed it to report the bridge, and I set red alert if I'm right.
All right.
That sounds right to me.
Um, I would call out because I'm probably on my way to the bridge right now.
Hmm.
The moment we hear red alert, and if I know it's the Borg, I'm paging Los to the shuttle bay.
Okay. So I'm going to say for this instance, this is probably going to be one of the few very rare instances where we're going to track crew support. Um, so Hailong and Sin and Los are going to count for a total of 3. Now remember the Arcadia being a size 6, or are you a size 5? I always forget.
We're 6.
Okay,
We're
so
6, I
you've
believe,
basically already used half of your crew support. And that's going to be the case for the rest of this session, just so you know. Also, it is worth noting that the Borg get exactly as many turns as you guys do. So more turns here might not be in your favor, just so you know. But yeah, let's get the turn window up, and let's get things started. So, as is standard with any combat, players, you are going to go first. So, which among you is going to act first? And, what are you going to do? It can be an NPC as well.
I did want to have some, like, yeoman, I guess, go grab my sword from my office and bring it to the bridge.
Okay, I'll say that that's a minor action, and, no problem. That can happen.
Narratively, since I'm on the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and I be the first one to give a command.
You could, if you wish. You could also, jump into any sort of helm action if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean the first action.
Oh yeah,
So-
sure.
We said the magnetic eddy at the at the night 18 between 18 and 20 there, the J18 J20.
This one.
We said that's cover, right?
Yeah, any of the eddies count as 2 challenge die worth of cover.
Okay. So then I would probably do a helm action
Okay.
and bring in the ship to the starboard side or to the right
Okay.
and put that in between us and them. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
And he'll probably hold about 2 scrids off. Do like a. I'm not sure how you want to do the movement. If you want to, how would you want to do movement with this grid system?
So it is going to be the same on the thing. So you should be able to use the ruler, and it'll tell you how many units is each.
Okay.
So medium range is 6 units. I think you're right at the edge of it. So
Okay,
as a maneuver action, you could move over there, and we could do a difficulty 0 task to get you some momentum.
Yeah, I would probably hold off to like L22 or N22, so that it's
Okay.
between us and them, but yet giving us enough maneuverability if we need to pull away from it.
Okay. But you still have to be within that aura to get the benefit, just so you know.
Well, wouldn't a shot across it give us the benefit too?
You know what? That is a fair argument. I'll say yes, so long as you are within close range of the eddy. So 1 to 2
Okay.
spaces.
Well, and that's and about an L22. So we'll do it's at 6 spaces, so if I turn to the starboard 1, 2, 4, 5. So we'll move to K21.
Okay.
Keep us in close range.
You should have control over the token, but if not, just let me know.
Okay. Well, do you want to roll a 0 action for that, or is it just move?
Go ahead and move. The actual action is going to just generate momentum for you, unless you literally roll pure complications.
Okay.
So for you, it's a control plus con, and the ship
Raj.
is assisting with engines plus con.
Oh, I'd be rolling for both if I'm rolling for the ship too.
Yeah.
Hold on. There he is. Could you go ahead and repeat that? I was doing something while you were talking.
Sure. You are rolling a control plus con, and the ship is engines plus con.
Okay, control plus con, and I guess this would be. Do I get advantage for that's evasive action?
Sure. I'll let that focus apply.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
2 momentum off the bat. Let's see if the Arcadia gets you any more.
Okay, I'm rolling for the Arcadia. You said engines plus.
Con.
Always applicable focus.
Look at that. Total of 3 momentum overall. So yeah.
I think I spent all my luck.
So yeah, Janice does move the Arcadia so that there is an eddy between you and the Borg at the moment. For the Borg's action, they are actually going to...
Might I intercede?
Yes, you may.
I think we've got quick action on one of our characters, right?
I know Sin has it, yes.
That doesn't mean we need to do it. Does anyone want to take a turn before the Borg go?
I wouldn't mind getting the Roddenberry out of the ship. Ready and hidden.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. How do I want to do this? I'll just let it happen. Let me put the Roddenberry's token down. Let me put it into the turn order. Alright. So you and Los, and that means the Borg have a grand total of 7 actions. Alright, so, as I expand windows here, the Roddenberry launches from the primary shuttle bay, and yeah, it is now in play. Because that is 2-player actions, it is now time for the Borg to move. The Borg are going to, let me check. 2 or more zones, not what I want. Well, maybe. Let's check ranges. Survey says that is 14. So, yeah, that's what the Borg are going to do. They are going to spend what is it? 1 power? 2 power? 2 power. No. Close, long. 3 power. So they're going to spend 3 power to get all the way to here.
Jesus.
And much like you, I'm going to spend some threat for them to retain the initiative. And they are going to attempt to hit you with a cutting beam. Now, of course, if it hits, you do get to roll some challenge die for cover from the eddy. But let's see what happens. All right, so good news, because technically you guys are 4 units away, and the cutting beam is a close-ranged weapon. That means the difficulty for them goes to a 3. So they've only rolled a 2. So the cutting beam cuts across the eddy, and either the eddy's effect on the beam curves it, or otherwise, maneuvers it out of the way of the Arcadia, or maybe just the Borg shot is really bad. Either way, it misses. And that will be your guys' turn now.
This isn't my turn or anything, but as a general warning, my general order is to stay as far away from the Borg ship as possible. As far as we know, all of their weapons are at close range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's my turn again, so...
Well, it's any of the players can go.
well, just
Go
to
ahead.
just to make sure we get it straight, how long will it be? How many turns or how many actions will it be before the captain's actually on the bridge?
I would say the captain's already on the bridge. Like,
good.
It's literally a minor action in Starship Combat to get to the bridge or anywhere else on the ship.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna take my seat and let him go down. I mean, captain the ship.
I'm just looking up the scan for weakness right now.
I gotcha. Page 223.
Okay, got it. So yeah, I think since we've got 2 turns, I think I want to do a scan for weakness, and then shooting across the eddy, they're going to get some extra cover. Is that right?
Yep, it goes both ways.
Okay. And to take a second helm action, how does that work here?
So we've been doing it slightly wrong, or at least, I was talking with some people and we, figured it out. I might have been doing it wrong. So because the helm has already acted, that's one additional difficulty. If you want a Janus to go again, that's another difficulty. However, if you just want to override, like you as a character want to override your station to do a helm action, that's just +1. But Janus acting again is total +2.
Okay, I think I'll override it from my seat, since then it just goes to difficulty 1.
Okay.
And I can move anywhere within short range without spending power, so let me get my rule.
Actually, medium range without spending power.
Sorry, that's what I meant. All right. From my con, I'll say I'm taking us back to the planet, and then I'm going to give an order for Hylong to scan the Borg ship for weakness. So I'll go ahead and roll my con check, which probably isn't very good.
Yeah, and it is a control plus con at difficulty 1, and the ship is again assisting with engines plus con.
I don't think I've got. Oh, can I have Hylong scan first, because it will be more difficult once we leave?
Yes, she can. Let's do her first.
Okay.
So that's a control science for Hylong, difficulty 1. And the ship is assisting with sensors security. So actually, because you have advanced sensors, that goes down to difficulty 0. Look at that.
They walked right into our trap. Does she has sensor operation, so I'm assuming that applies?
Oh, I would hope so.
Alright, so we gain 2 momentum, and we do scan for weakness. Alright, now I need to roll.
Basically, I'm going to put a marker on it. Let's put wavy lines. Wavy lines will represent scan for weakness. All right. So that's your sensor operation.
I'd like to use. We're at 5 momentum now. Is that right?
That is correct.
I'd like to buy 1 more die.
Okay. Looks like you get that right back. And,
right, and then
yeah,
the ship.
Yeah, the ship is engines con.
Engines con.
And I'm trying to get to, I think, K26.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you guys are maxed on momentum. Go ahead and move the Arcadia. All right, so because you did go, it is now the Borg's turn. The Borg are, in a similar fashion, going to sort of chase you. So let's see. They can get to about there. All right, let me roll their things. What did they get? They get what they need. All right, so they are going to, in a similar fashion, sort of follow you towards the planet. And this time, let's see. This time they are not going to keep the initiative. They are going to let you go again.
Hello.
Alright, I think we need to fire phasers spread. And buy a lot of extra. We only get the extra die once for scan for weakness?
It is the very next attack. It is this vessel's, actually, so the Arcadia's attack, not the Roddenberry's.
Dang.
Oh, we get an extra d20 for or extra d8 for each extra d20 we buy.
Yep, one
D6.
challenge die per d20 you buy on the task.
Well, I like having that while we're at max momentum. If no one minds, I will order Sin to fire phasers in a spread.
Okay. Now, keeping in mind you as Tahan have already acted, so unless you want to do it at increased difficulty, Sin is just going to do her roll flat.
Yeah, that's fine. But we can spend momentum for it, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
All right. So, Sabo, I believe you're controlling Sin.
I am.
For her, it would be a control plus security, and the ship is assisting with weapons plus security. Now, out of curiosity, what weapon are you using?
I think he said fire phasers, right?
Okay, just making sure.
And spinning momentum.
I think I like spending 3 here because then we get 2 extra damage.
All right, so I'm rolling 5d20?
4.
4, okay. And with the focus of Starship Tactical Systems, I imagine, come into play here.
Definitely. Well, would you look at that? All right, so it's going to be important that we keep track of floating momentum here. So that's 2 floating. You're at max and 2 floating. What does the ship get us?
Oh. Ship gets us. As soon as the screen. That is sensors, or it's weapons.
Weapon security.
Security. I'm interested in what you're saying and not paying attention to what I'm doing.
I forgot to mention straight up too that as soon as it was announced that the Borg ship came into view, that Sabo scrambled his crew, and so we're preparing for casualties in Med Bay. And I especially have Lieutenant Maddock have one of my crew members, Tasmatic, under close observation while this is going down.
Understood. All right. So if I read that right, you guys have 3 floating at the moment. In addition to the fact that phasers are versatile, so you have a grand total of 5 floating momentum at the moment.
Oh boy.
But I will say, if you want to... Hold up, let me make sure I say this right. So right now you have Piercing 2, thanks to Scan for Weakness. In addition, if you want to do further penetration from a combat momentum spends, you have to declare that before the damage is rolled.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because I thought about it, and it's like, well, because otherwise they're just gonna,
I think we can count. What's the scale of the ship we're fighting?
The scale of the ship you're fighting is 6. But you don't know if it has like a blade of armor or things of that nature.
Right. I'm kind of cool with trusting we roll some effects, and if we don't, we've got 5 momentum to roll into them.
Okay.
But I can be convinced otherwise.
I likes it.
By the way, I just want to say congratulations on 51 followers.
All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and the other thing you got to declare. Would this be power loss at all? Would you sort of do a dampening effect at all?
No, but we should have targeted a system, since we get to do that for free with the Arcadia because of fast targeting systems. Can we declare that now?
Yeah, you declare that now. We haven't rolled anything.
How do we engines so they can't keep chasing us?
Sounds good.
I like it. Gives some distance to at least take their small weapons out of play, short range.
And to help you out a little bit, I would direct your attention to the devastating attack momentum spend.
Yeah. So that puts us at 3 extra.
Yeah,
Roll
so
an
that would put you
additional
at 3
system.
extra.
All right. Well, we got to get through the shields first, but I'm feeling good. So we get to roll 11 challenge dice here. Power loss could be good, but we have to do that before you said.
Yeah, you got to declare power loss before you fire.
So was all the floating momentum being spent?
Not yet, I don't think.
You still have 3 because I think you're just doing devastating attack. So you still have 3 floating.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Regenerating shields, is that through momentum or for them threat, or is that spending power?
So there's several things you can do with shields. You can modulate them to get additional resistance, but that's a tactical action. As a ops roll, you can regenerate shields, and that costs 1 power. I think that's actually it, besides minor actions to raise or lower.
Okay. I'm good on pre-combat momentum spends, I think.
Okay. All right, so let's roll those 11 challenge die, see what happens. Okay.
All right, so 2 effects. Let's go ahead and spend 1 of the 3 left to reroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the dice. I'm just rerolling the zeros.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so right now we're getting through 4 momentum.
For resistance, you mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I meant. Okay, I'll reroll 5.
Okay. Would you look at that?
All right, so that's getting through 8 resistance, and we've got what, 14?
Yep, 14.
I like that. And we've got still what, 2 more momentum?
Yep, you still have 2 floating.
I guess just the +1 damage to get that to 16.
16. All right, that is a very solid hit. Let me double check here because I have to make sure I tell you the right thing. So Sin, doing what Sin does best, coordinates with Hailong, and you line up a shot on what you're pretty sure is the Borg equivalent of engines. And you fire your phaser's arrays in sort of a widespread area. And you do seem to have hit it quite well. Not only do you see explosions coming from the hull, but whatever shields the vessel had are completely gone. So we actually have 3 breaches we have to resolve here. So I need... I need you all to, well, I need someone to roll me 2d20 to determine what other 2 systems have been hit.
I'll do that.
And just for my own benefit, the first 2 are from the main attack, and then the second one's from the spread. The third is from devastating attack.
So the first attack, the straight attack you just did, is on engines, so that's a guaranteed breach to engines. The devastating attack, since it's 8, actually, hold on. So it's 8, so that's already a breach, and shields are down, so that's another breach. So that's 2 breaches there. And then because the shields are down, that's another breach entirely. So you're actually at 4 breaches, so I need another d20.
And what about the spread? Which is going to be...
Oh, jeez.
It's 8 plus 4 effects, so that's 12 on the spread attack.
Oh, boy. All right. Does half the damage of the initial hit, so...
Plus 1 for every effect.
Plus 1 for every... Jesus. All right, hold on.
So we liquidate liquidate the...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. Hold on.
No, they had way more... It's fine. It's...
Okay, so 1 for every effect after the first. Okay, so 8... 1 for
so that's only 11.
Okay, so you rolled 4 effects, so that's 4 spread. So that's another 4 breaches, I think. So another 4d20.
Okay, that's
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so
we got fireworks. That's what we got.
yeah, you got a lot of good rolls. All right, so engines. Did you hit any engines again? Let's see. It was 3 to 6 for engines. So you rolled a 6, so that's 1. Let's see. Next up is 7 to 9 is sensors, so 1 breach to sensors. Okay. Next up is 10 to 17, and you have 1, 2, 3 of those, so that's 3 breaches to structure. Structure 3. All right, and then we have 18 to 20, which you have 2 of, which would be weapons. Let me do quick math. Yes, that is all the breaches. So as I said, Sin does her, damned good job and causes a cascading failure along the port side of the Borg vessel. And there's just a chain reaction, sort of. It's not destroyed yet. However, you have indeed done quite a bit of, impact damage to these systems.
Since that was just Sin's turn, and we still have quick reaction because it's still part of the crew, and lots of
Yeah. We still have another.
Else is gonna fire micro torpedoes at this Borg cube.
All right, let me quickly go through the impacts here before I let you do that.
Okay.
All right, so it loses 2 power from engines. Let's see what happens. Comms weren't hit. Computers weren't hit.
Roddenberry's trying to get a kill steal.
All right, so
It'll
the
be hard
sensors
with the torpedo.
doesn't
It'll be
matter.
difficulty 4.
Oh.
Okay, impact to structure, interesting. So they have 1 fewer round. And then what happens to weapons? Disrupt this function. They must restore minor action. Okay. All right, yeah, go ahead. You certainly may attempt an attack with the Roddenberry.
I want to give Los my determination, so he gets 2 automatic successes. Is that a thing?
No, you have to spend your own determination for your own rolls.
Oh, okay. I can't. I thought I could give it to someone.
Nope.
Oh, he has an ability for being the XO that lets him spend his determination to give someone else and their spent determination, I think.
I think you have to spend something like 3 momentum to do that, but that's about right, yeah. I'll look it up.
But that doesn't let me use it immediately. That just gets it back for me.
Yeah, it just regains your momentum.
But I like your idea, and Los does have values.
Does Los have a determination?
What? Yeah, I mean, that's up to the GM.
Say again?
I assume he's got 1 point?
Yeah, as long as you've got a value, you have a determination point.
So I've got no stranger to violence.
Everyone has that.
Yeah, Tahan does not. So, if I remember correctly, a torpedo is difficulty 3, but we are not in ideal range because this is medium range, so this would be
Correct.
difficulty 4. Okay. Can the Roddenberry do a volley of micro torpedoes?
I'm going to say no, because you only carry 2. I would not qualify 2 as a value.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Are there any effects on the micro torpedo I need to know about, or is it just fire the thing?
As far as I know, it's just a fire and forget.
Okay. So with the determination, that's 2 successes. Let's spend 1 momentum for a 3rd die, just in case.
Okay.
And starboard tactical sound like a good focus.
Sounds like a good one, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I see green, so... Alright, so you get a momentum back. And of course, the Roddenberry still assists with weapons and security. So you could get
I will
even
roll
floating
Roddenberry.
momentum at this point.
Are you rolling that, Crowley?
Yeah, I'll roll it.
And I got to roll the damage last time, so if someone else wants to do that.
All right. So I believe micro torpedoes are 4 challenge die.
Okay.
All right. So roll a d20 to see what system you hit. All right. You hit their weapons again, and actually now this does matter. Their weapons are now qualified as damaged. So this increases the difficulty of all tasks that involved or assisted by the ship's weapon by +2 until repaired. The difficulty to repair this is 3. All right, good to know.
So, quick question now.
Mm-hmm.
And I spend my determination to go again as Crowley.
No, Sin just went. So you've players have already gone twice. It's now has to be the Borg's turn.
Okay.
All right, so the Borg are not happy with this turn of events. So what they're going to do is they're going to attempt to repair some damage, which they do. And then I will roll again because they're going to start transporting things certain places, which they achieve. So on the bridge of the Arcadia, 2 tactical drones appear. And basically, now you guys have to deal with tactical drones on the Borg's turn. Which is going to be a little bit odd because we would have to go between maps. So we're going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the tokens down. And I will basically just sort of roll a d20 to see who they go with, kind of a thing. Let's see. You know what? Let's get a little bit vindictive here. I'm also going to say that not only are they on the bridge, and we'll denote bridge by a yellow circle, there is one in sickbay, which we'll denote with a, let's use pink. And there is one on the Roddenberry. Because the Borg, Borg don't know what the hell's going on with the Roddenberry. All right, so that is all of their actions. So now it is the player's turn again.
Look at Borg green on there. So, is it a fresh turn? Is this round 2?
No, this is still, everyone has not acted yet. I believe, Crowley, you are the only one who has not acted yet. Well, Sabo too, so Sabo would also need to go at some point.
Alright. So when we beam back to the ship, I remember saying that I wanted my shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I had time to grab it and go to the shuttle bay or not.
It's a minor action, you could get it. And so, just to be clear, you are on the Roddenberry with Loesch, you're not, like, in the holodeck doing it that way?
Oh no, I'm on the Roddenberry.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, me and Los are both on the Roddenberry. We're fleshies on these one. Shit. So, yeah, whatever I had time to have grabbed it before going on the shuttle.
I'll allow it, yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna shoot that Borg.
Okay, that's going to be a control security from Crowley. Difficulty here is a 2.
And
I will remind you that, I guess readying the weapon is going to take your minor. Otherwise, I would say you could probably aim, but nah, pulling it out's gonna be your minor.
Alright. Let's see. I don't have any training in it. No focuses.
Okay.
Is it okay if I spend a momentum, guys?
Yeah, please do.
I would say,
Do it.
you guys have 6 momentum, please, for the love of God.
Control security, and this is, if anyone is curious, it's a modified high-tech version of an AA-12 shotgun. It's nothing but slugs.
Solid choice.
Oh, it jams!
So, yeah, that is what's going to happen. You will get a shot off, but you now have to spend a full action to unjam it. But yeah, go ahead and roll your damage, because that's going to matter here.
What was the challenge dice we gave it? Like
I
based off
believe
a
I made
rifle?
it the same as a phaser rifle. Check my notes. Yeah, as long as you are within medium range, or no, I said close range, which you would be on the Roddenberry. It will be 4 base challenge die.
And that goes off anything else though. So like, would I add more to that?
4 plus security.
8. Okay. So 8 dice in total.
Okay. So yeah, you basically blast this drone, and it staggers, but it's still up.
Alright. That's my turn.
All right. So it comes back around to the Borg's turn, and yeah, Crowley, the drone you just attacked, it's gonna attack you back. Let's see what happens. So yeah, you need to roll me a daring plus security, and basically you need to beat 2 here. Actually, no, I think you need 3 to win out.
Alright. Fine for another momentum for this?
I'd say yes.
Alright. I don't feel like being injected with anything today.
I mean, even though, if you fall down, I might become XO, but hey, I'm a nice guy.
I'm here.
All right, so I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure in this instance the tie goes to the Borg. That's why I'm going to double check. All right, so combat.
I really need to return some things.
Tie goes to the... If the target wins the opposed task. Okay. So, in the event of a tie, where is that? It's got to be here somewhere.
It goes to the attacker.
It's like in 4E, if you hit someone's AC dead on, it still hits.
Right. All right, we're going to say the Borg does hit you then, just to keep things moving. So in that case, unfortunately, Crowley, you are going to get a simulation tubed. But let's see if they hit the magic number they need. They do indeed. You have been tubed. And you're going to need to keep track of that because you now are facing an injury, which you're going to need to avoid, or, you're going to turn into a Borg.
Sadness. Yep.
So how are you going to avoid the injury is the question.
How can I avoid? What's the...
You can spend 2 momentum, or you can spend your determination.
Is it okay if I spend a 2 momentum? Everyone fine with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so just so you know, you still take the 5 stress damage, so it could hit you again and, attempt to wound you again. But you still are in fighting shape, or you're keeping it together as best you can. So we come back around to the Arcadia. It is Dr. Sabo, it is your turn. And right now, it is you, about 3 nurses, Andromeda, and a Borg tactical drone that has materialized in the middle of your sickbay. What is your action?
All right. Well, first of all, I'm going to call out, use the comm badge, I guess, and call out security to medbay, intruder alert.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... I think I had a restraining field up around Lieutenant Maddock.
Mm-hmm.
And Sabo was going to release Maddock upon the Borg because I couldn't hit the broadside of a space barn, I don't think, in combat.
Okay. I will vote this as an option, so I'll let you decide.
Mm-hmm.
Andromeda is a pretty good fighter herself, so you could have Andromeda go instead of Maddock if you so wished.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay.
We have been wanting to see how her nanites work with Borg ones.
Yeah, this is a very interesting medical prospect. If it, it'd be interesting if it weren't so terrifying. All right, so let's have Andromeda act then. Andromeda is, of course, going to be rolling daring plus security. I believe she has a focus, but let's double check. Actually, she does not have a focus. So who's rolling for Andromeda, by the way?
I think everyone has a character they can roll for besides us. I can roll for Andromeda.
Okay.
These characters. And it is what again, sorry?
Daring security. The base difficulty is a 1, but you want many successes here.
Survival, would that be as a focus? She wants to survive this?
Unfortunately, no. Survival is not going to apply here.
Dang, okay. Yeah.
All right. So she scored 2 successes, which means Borg has to score 3 to beat you out. And it only scores 2. So, Andromeda, I believe your best attack is going to be the Shining Finger, which is 7 challenge die, if I recall correctly.
Melee, right?
Should be, yeah.
1 challenge dice.
All right. Let me double check. Did I give it piercing? I don't think I gave it piercing. No, I gave it intense, deadly, and debilitating. All right. Would you care to re-roll that 0?
Oh, sure.
Okay, that will cost momentum to do so.
Sure.
Okay. So, good news for those of you in sickbay. At being quote-unquote unleashed at the Borg tactical drone, Andromeda charges over, and her right hand begins to glow with a neon purple light, and she comes up and slams the palm of her hand into the Borg drone's forehead, and there is a miniature explosion as the drone's head literally ceases to exist. And the rest of the drone, stutters and twitches and falls to the ground completely dead. But
That's an interesting effect.
yeah.
Impressive.
However, it is the Borg's turn again. So this time it's going to be the assimilator. And let me make sure this is correct, that I can do this. Yes, I can do this. All right, let me check range. You are within close range. The Borg assimilator is going to attempt to lock a tractor beam onto you. So let me roll that, see what happens. And it needs 2 successes. So I get a threat back. Nice. All right, so the Arcadia, basically a green sort of holding beam emanates from the center of the assimilator and begins to drain the Arcadia's shields. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 challenge die. You lose 1 power. And you cannot move until you break the tractor beam. All right. Has everyone gone at this point? Have I missed anyone?
Neelan's here now.
Oh, is he able to join us? Nice. Can you hear us, Nolan?
Oh, Elan?
Yeah, he said you'd be able to. Looks like he said you'd be able to join for about 45 minutes or so, I think.
All right, we'll give him a few moments.
So I look at the tactical drone that's assimilating me right now and ask him how his day's going.
Oh, it's been great. Had a chat with the queen. She told me I need to assimilate more to meet the quota.
Oh yeah, you got demands to meet. I'm sorry about shooting you. I'm just
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I just tubed you, so.
no hard feelings. If I do manage to shoot you again, I am going to try and bring you down. But hey, best man, right?
And when you don't, I'm gonna tube your Bajoran friend over there.
That is a horrible adjective to describe assimilation.
Hello. Okay. We're,
Just got tubed.
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you, Nilan. How are you doing?
um,
Actually, find out that the Borg Collective is not what we thought it was, but it's all YouTube content creators.
Oh God.
Oh no.
All right, Nilan, can you hear us? Nilan. Yeah, we can hear you if you can hear us. Give you another couple minutes, but then we'll have to move on if you're not ready, because we do have to keep this moving.
hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Awesome.
So, to kind of set the scene, you are on the bridge. There are 2 Borg tactical drones that have literally just materialized. The Arcadia is within a tractor beam from the Borg that is slowly draining power. What is your course of action there, Nilan?
Okay. Okay, so we've used. So it looks like we've used all of our, I guess, what are dots radar except for internal systems in command.
Correct.
It looks like. Okay. What exactly can I do with command during ship combat?
What you can do using command is you could, let me check. You are not the CO, so you can't order anyone to do. I mean, you could narratively order someone, but it wouldn't give you a role. Yeah, I don't think command would do anything for you here.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not the CO or the XO.
So in that case, internal systems might not do much for me either.
Correct. Simply because you haven't taken any shield damage, and you've only lost, I think, 2 powers so far.
Okay.
But you could do one of the others, just at an increased difficulty.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, can I... There's like an assist minor action or a prepare minor action, right?
There is, yes, there is an assist minor action. Actually, let me think.
Okay.
No, they are a full action.
They're full action.
Bad idea.
Prepares minor, but assist is that main?
Yeah, prepare is minor, assist is full.
Could internal systems be him trying to beam those Borg off?
I want to say yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It would be, a bit difficult because they're not on a pad and you're not beaming them to a pad, so that's 4 reduced by 1 because of Arcadia's sensors, so that would be a difficulty 3 task. Possible.
If they get beamed into the middle of a bulkhead, I'm not gonna cry.
Let's see.
After that awesome conversation, you're our best pals.
And let's see here.
You can use a minor action to get to the transporter room to decrease the difficulty. The only thing I can think of is we'd have to transport them within our own shields.
Right. In that case, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just move down to the transporter room get ready for that task.
Well, it's a minor action to move positions, so you can arrive in the transporter room, no problem.
Okay. In that case, I'll use my action to go ahead and try and do that.
Okay, so you are going to be rolling a control plus engineering, and the ship will be assisting with sensors plus engineering. The overall difficulty is a 3.
Okay, control plus. Who boy?
You want the last momentum?
I might need that momentum to re-roll because my control and engineering is pretty garbage.
You have to use determination to reroll.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. All right, well, we'll see how this goes. In that case, yeah, I'll just use that momentum to buy a third die.
Okay.
Would team dynamics be a possible focus if I'm working with other people on the ship to do this?
I'll let you say you're working with the transporter chief.
Okay,
Mostly
cool.
because I want to see you succeed here.
It probably won't go too well.
No. So,
Wah wah.
you try to get a lock on the drones, and either they have already put up, sort of their personal force field, or the interference from the tractor beam that is on you at the moment is just screwing around with sensors to the point where, they're essentially scrambled.
How many successes
Alrighty.
did you need?
Wait,
They
I
needed
need 3.
What about the?
What about the
ship? It could roll a crit.
Well, it could. This is true. Sensors engineering from the ship. We need to see a 1.
Sensors engineering.
Well, I guess not a 1, but, crit anyway.
3 or lower. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Oops.
Well, we
Well,
tried.
You tried. All right, which means that it is going to now be the drones on the bridge turn. So I get to roll as I look at the map real fast. Let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 of you on the bridge at the current moment. Actually, no, Crowley's not there, so that's only 6. So let's roll a 1d6, see who gets to be the lovely target. 5. Hey, Captain. How you doing?
Hello.
So,
I have a
drone
sword.
drone number 1 is going to come up and attempt to tube you. You need to roll 2 to counterattack. But if you only roll a 1, you get tubed.
Do I get to use sword combat focus?
I will allow it.
Neat. We're at no momentum.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
I'm a bold man. I don't have the bold talent though. I will spend 1 threat to, or add 1 to threat to get a third die.
Okay. I see green.
Ooh, I see 2 green. There we go.
Very nice. So you get 3 momentum from that. And yeah, you are able to successfully counterattack the Borg. So yeah, go ahead and roll your sword's challenge die. Alrighty. Does it have
And-
piercing or vicious?
I think it is vicious. It does. So that is 8.
Alright, well, the Borg's going to go down. So describe how you cut the Borg down.
How is it attacking me?
It is literally doing the stereotypical Borg thing where it just marches forward and tries to, hit you with its arm.
Oh. I hack at its leg to get it off balance, and then I sweep back around and dig into its neck a little.
Okay. So you sweep the legs, and the drone goes, flailing through the air, falling onto its back, and when it lands, you basically put your hand on the pommel of your other hand that's not holding the sword on the pommel of the sword and drive it into the Borg's neck, severing the cerebral connection. And very similar to the drone in sickbay, though obviously without as much explosions, the drone twitches and dies. The other drone, let's
Sweep the
see
leg.
who it goes for.
Come
Hey,
at me.
Captain, how you doing?
I'm gonna spend 1 momentum for a third die.
Okay, let's see what the Borg roll. All right, so you need 2 to beat it.
RNG, this is making me want to be captain.
Yeah, it's a good life. It really is.
All right, you got the 2 you needed. So yeah, let's roll those challenge dice. See what happens. All right.
That's 5. Yeah, I'm not going to spend anything extra. They have some resistance, don't they?
Maybe.
Let's spend 1 to reroll those 3 zeros.
Hey.
Ah,
Okay.
very nice.
All right, so now we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be enough.
That's another Borg drone dead. So how are you killing this one?
I pick up the other drone, throw it at this one, and then when it's off when it's off balance, because they seem pretty top heavy, let's say this is a chest shot. I'll go in for the torso.
All right, so you plunge the blade deep into the Borg's chest, and you wrench it to the side, and you just hear something break inside. And this Borg drone doesn't so much twitch as he just goes fully limp. And, you pull your sword back and maybe give him a kick for good measure, and he just crumbles to the deck. All right. So, with that excitement out of the way, we are now at a fresh round of combat. So, everyone refreshes.
You got the Borg on the Roddenberry.
Didn't it already tube you?
Yeah, you already got tubed.
Yeah, there was only one drone on the Roddenberry.
Yeah, but he retubed me last round. This is the fresh round, so he should have gone.
Well, no. We just are now getting to the fresh round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are now starting the fresh round. And what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to have the Borg put some power of their own into the tractor beam. So they're going to invest some power, and I get to roll some challenge die. Okay, so sort of bad news. You're going to suffer, I think... Alright, so I don't think you suffer any damage because you have the resistance. However, you are going to lose 3 power immediately off the bat. Alright.
Need some power.
And then... No, I'm not going to have the Borg retain initiative. It'll come back around to you guys.
Is it okay if Crowley goes?
You can certainly go.
I'm just going to do what I know best, is use my hands to attack this drone.
Okay. I'm just imagining you looking at your shotgun, seeing its jam, and just literally throwing the gun at him.
Yeah, Krav Maga style. I'm using it as I'm hurling at him as I'm running towards him.
All right, well, you know what that is. That is a daring security. Magic number to beat is you need a 2.
Oh, I am going to use determination. No stranger to violence.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so that's 2 dice of silver. Success. Focus because I have hand to hand. Yeah.
You do hit it. All right, go ahead and roll your damage.
As that's 2 successes, right? Because of determination's 2. Well, sorry, yeah, it's a crit.
Yeah, so you have 3 momentum total, I believe.
Okay.
Not 4,
and
3.
3.
Yeah.
All right, and I want to dump in at least one. I'm going to add in an extra challenge dice to that with using momentum. And that's one momentum for 1 challenge dice, right?
No, it's 1 momentum for +1 damage.
Okay.
But I
So I'll
might
do
recommend
that.
some penetration on this.
Sure, I'll do penetrating.
Okay. How many momentum are you going to spend for penetration?
You guys okay if I do 2?
By all means.
All right, so that's a grand total of 4 resistance ignored.
And so that should be a 5 unarmed.
So, literally, you throw your gun butt first into the drone's face, and you do so with such impact that the face just sort of crumples inward, and the drone flips over itself and falls to the deck dead. And Loesch just kind of turns and looks and says, "Is that standard? You know what? Good job, sir." And he just does a very quick clap and goes, "Oh shit, we're in combat!" Which is a thing because now it is the Borg's turn, and it too is going to tractor beam the Roddenberry, which is going to be interesting because it's an increased difficulty to tractor the Roddenberry. That is not the roll I wanted. This is oh dear. Okay, so this is getting interesting. When I developed this mechanic, I knew this might happen, but let's see what happens. So, the Roddenberry is now trapped in a tractor beam, and it immediately suffers 2 power loss.
No.
And then it's your guys' turn. What are you doing?
Well, the chat asked so nicely, so I think I'd like to take the rally action and get us some momentum for this round.
That is a solid course of action. And I'm sort of imagining it as you just standing over the corpses of the Borg and says, "Look at this! We can do this!"
Yeah, I'm channeling everything I know about Earth's Vikings.
I really wish that I could have seen that episode of The Next Generation where Picard takes out the drone with a claymore.
You haven't seen that one? It's so good.
It would have been-
Quoting with his English British French accent.
How about you?
Oh dear. All right. So rally is a presence command, difficulty 0, and it literally is just for momentum.
I'm going to say that team dynamics is an applicable focus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see 3 momentum for you. Very nice.
This is my gift for you. I made this momentum. Have it, please.
So, I think for the Borg's action, I'm going to spend 4 threat here to drag both the Roddenberry and the Arcadia closer to it. So you are now within close range. Well, you were already, but now you are definitely within close range of the assimilator.
I really thought you were going to smash us together like King Kong, like smashing small little ships together.
Just going to roll a 1d100 to see how vindictive I feel like being. I don't feel like being vindictive.
So was that their turn doing that?
No, that was their turn doing that, yes, because next turn they are going to unleash hell.
Oh, so are they keeping momentum? Are they keeping initiative?
No, I rolled an 89. I am not vindictive. So it is the player's turn again.
Can Los go, guys?
Well, don't we want to try to blow this thing up and
Yeah,
I
I think
think have the best chance of doing that?
that'd be Sen.
Well, the reason I'm bringing it up because I have close range pulse phasers. So I'm not too
Captain?
sure.
How good are those? Let me see. Captain's busy drawing Borg off of his sword.
They have
let's-
versatile 2. Close range.
7 challenge dice. That ain't bad. But hear me out here. Our quantum torpedoes do a lot of breaches, and the Borg have no shields, I believe.
Right, but it would be a total difficulty of 4 because torpedoes are long range optimally. Actually,
Right.
no, it would be because you're close range, so it would be a difficulty 5.
Okay, but we could do phasers again and do the devastating attack.
You could do phasers again, but since you're now within close range, the difficulty is 3 for those.
Okay, that's pretty manageable. And the Arcadia's phasers are more powerful, and we can get spread on them. So I know it's. What do you guys think?
I
Also
think we
just
need to
pay-
kill this thing. Yeah.
Alright. Pay momentum as well to keep initiative.
I'm with
So have
the
Los and the Arcadia.
Yeah, we
phaser
can do-
race. So
All right, let's do the let's start with the Arcadia and then make some momentum and then apply that to the Roddenberry so he can go right after.
Okay. Alrighty, well, Sin, you're going to be rolling a control plus security. Difficulty here is a 3. And the ship is assisting with weapons plus security.
You guys want me to burn any momentum here, or just do a straight roll?
I think we can afford to spend 1.
Okay. So I will spend 1.
Would the ship be assisting here?
Yes, weapons security.
Okay.
And again, use the focus of Starship Tactical.
Well, Sin does her job. Does the ship do its?
I'm rolling it.
Not disappoint.
Aw. At least it wasn't a
You're
complication.
off by
It's fine.
1. Oh.
We still get
still
2.
You still
We
hit.
still get 2 momentum for phasers.
Yep, you still have 2 floating momentum to spend as you wish.
So I'm thinking we spend 2 for devastating attack,
Yeah.
and then I kind of want to spend 2 more to give it piercing 4, because it does still have resistance because of its scale.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Right.
hold on. It's at 3. Sorry, this is to engines, by the way.
Okay.
So it'll no, even if we don't do a ton of damage, it'll still be 1 breach because they have no shields, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, but piercing we can get more breaches. All right. Yeah,
So
I think 2 more.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, so we're getting through 4 resistance then, and that puts, I think it's 9 challenge dice for the Arcadia.
Default, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Who would like to roll that?
Go for it.
Go for it, Captain.
Nice. Nice.
All right. The effects. So that's going to go for spread. So 4.5 rounds up to 5 plus 1 for each effect past the first. So that's 7 for each effect for the spread. Is that right?
Alright, let's count how many breaches. So 1 because it has no shields, 1 because you're over 5, 3 spread, so roll me 4d20.
Okay.
See where everything goes. Alright, so engines is automatically going to get 1. Alright, so 2, you hit it in its computers. Okay, 5, that's engines, so that's another hit to engines. 7, that's a hit to sensors, which makes it damaged again. They had repaired the breach, but... And then another to structure.
Hey.
So, very similar to the first attack Sin did. She does kind of try to concentrate fire, both on the engines and the tractor beam emitter. However, there's just not enough oomph behind your fire to completely disrupt their engines or the tractor emitters. But it was a good hit.
This is where we spend momentum to keep initiative.
This is where you spend 2 momentum to keep initiative. At least I think it's 2 momentum.
Yeah. We've got the 1, but we can do 1 of that and then 1 of threat.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I like this.
Los gets to fire the pulse phasers.
Okay.
Yeah. This is only difficulty 2 because it's designed for close range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am going to add 1 to threat because he has bold security.
Okay, solid choice.
Come on, Los.
I forgot to add the focus, but
Now let's see.
it would be 1 more
No, 2
because
more.
there's a 3. Does Los have a 5?
Yeah, he has a 5.
Good job, Los.
All right, so that 5 total, so that's 3 momentum for you.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. You spending any for penetration? Devastating?
Does this have versatile?
All
I think it
phasers
has
have
versatile too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's do that at least once because for devastating.
Okay.
And then we've got 3. Yeah, let's give it 2. What if do you guys like using that 2 float or the 2 from the phasers for penetration instead of devastating attack?
Versatile 2, that should get us 2 penetrating because
It'll get us
The
4.
Yeah,
Just
total
4.
4.
we
I
can use
think
that
that's-
then.
Yeah, we can do. Let's do both. Let's get through 4 penetration and devastating attack. I think that uses all of our momentum.
No, you're left with
Right.
1.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, that's perfect.
Right. And then we keep it 1 for a reroll if need be.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens.
All right, that's 7 die.
Very nice. Very nice.
Um,
Alright.
do the effects do anything?
I don't believe so. And as far as I'm aware, the
No.
Roddenberry does not have fast targeting. So I need you to roll me 2d20 to see where those hit.
Okay.
Alright, a 2 and a 5. So you hit the computers again. And a 15, a structure. Alright, so narratively, what I will tell you is that as the Roddenberry fires again, there are some serious hull breaches and fires that are emanating from the assimilator's hull. Were this not a Borg vessel, it would likely have broken apart at this point. But because it is sort of a hive structure where, you know, one system has redundancies and it's very easy to repair for the Borg, it is not in danger of exploding. At least not until you hit it again. Maybe 1 or 2 more hits to structure might kill this thing. However, it is the Borg's turn, and the first thing it's going to do is attempt to repair at least 1 breach, which it does. So you kind of see the hull begin to knit back together, and then it will spend all but 3 of my remaining threat to do another dampening effect on the Arcadia and the Roddenberry. So that is a grand total of this many challenge die. So the Arcadia and the Roddenberry both lose 3 power.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not looking good.
Mm-hmm. But it is the player's turn again.
Destroy it.
We need Matic.
Well, I can. Ship's already shot. I don't have the ability to force somebody to shoot again.
You can.
Oh wait, go ahead. And
Mm-hmm.
hold on, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot this damn thing.
Okay, so just so you know, let's break it down. Janice, you overriding tactical, that's +1. The fact that you're at close range and the phasers are medium, that's another +1. So your difficulty would be a 4.
Boo.
You have a determination.
Of course I have a
Values.
determination. Hold on. Oh yeah. Values. Family is more than blood.
I like it.
Although
Oh,
we do need to be careful about our power use here.
Yeah, I was gonna say firing will reduce you to 1 power total.
well, we can't move. Our shields are jacked.
We can regen power,
You can, yeah.
but maybe this could be the shot that takes them down. So I think it's a gamble, but it might be one worth taking.
Well, we don't have much momentum. However, my security is pretty high. I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since I am the awesome pilot I am, and I have a value that states I'm at home behind the wheel,
Uh-huh.
can I use my determination to try to do some crazy stuff to try to break loose of this thing to get us a little bit of distance since its edges are jacked?
I'll put it this way. You would have to spend either your determination or the equivalent of 2 momentum to create said advantage. However, you pulling away from the tractor beam is going to necessitate a roll of its own. And if you fail it, there's going to be some pretty bad damage to structure. Yeah, Borg, don't screw around, man. That's why I wanted everyone here.
Well, you know what? I have a focus at shipboard tactical systems, plus I have a value. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take the shot. Yep, I'm going to take the shot.
Alrighty. This also might be a good time to dump some threat to get your 5 die.
I'm going to do it.
Alright.
So,
Oh, gee.
yeah,
Let's
either
go.
we're gonna go big or we're gonna go home.
So
But
with
I wanted to be
the
captain.
with the 6 threat you just gave me,
Oh Jesus!
I'm gonna be a dick, and I'm gonna make the complication range a 16 to 20.
You know, I used to like you.
That was your first mistake.
No, I gotta keep
trusted
things
him.
interesting, man. This is an all or nothing shot.
So I get my automatic 2 successes, right?
Mm-hmm.
With my value,
So you just
And
need 2 more.
and I'm rolling 5 dice, right?
Mm-hmm. And the ship is also assisting.
Let's see. I'll roll for the ship. Is it weapons plus security for the ship?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a hero or I'm gonna be a 0.
Always has an applicable focus.
All right, so there's 1 from the Arcadia. Can
So
you
I'm
roll 1
doing-
success.
Control and security, right?
Yep.
Control, security, 5 dice, and I have a focus because I'm shipboard tactical.
All right, so you succeed. Not out of the woods yet, but let's count momentum here. So that is 1, 2, 3 momentum for you. And remember, you have 2 floating from phasers.
Well, I also did my. You counting my value too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, how would you like to spend your 2 floating challenge die? Or not challenge die, momentum.
2. Let's do devastating strike, right?
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say devastating strike, so I can hit as many subsystems as possible.
Okay.
I almost say if we can spend momentum on maybe the ignoring resistance, maybe penetration, maybe.
Well, you do have 2 floating and then 4 regular.
I have some bad news.
Okay, what is the bad news?
Those 2 zeros were within the complication range.
Oh, well, I'm glad you caught that because I didn't. All right, so let me put it this way. You can give me your 4 momentum right now, and you will not suffer those 2 complications. But that also means no momentum for you except for the floating.
Just do that and then use the 2 floating for devastating strike, I'd say.
Yep, because yeah,
Those
I don't wanna deal with
complications could be
complications.
bad. Yeah, so.
All right. And my next question, where would you have been aiming since you do have fast targeting?
Structure, because the structure should be pretty beat up at this point.
All right, so the structure will suffer at least 1 breach. So go ahead and let's roll some damage here to see how much spread is happening.
So, how many total dice am I getting now?
Should be 9, I believe.
9.
Nice reference.
Okay.
Really? And we don't have anything to re-roll either.
You can use threat.
You can give me threat.
You,
Threats
well, you
re-roll those
spent it though
zeros.
too. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Because if
Yeah.
not, we're just getting effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm re-rolling 4, right?
5.
Could do 5.
5. 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch the last one there.
You're good.
My bad. There we go.
All right. So, with the 1 hit to structure, I'm going to say this. Basically, you need to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to roll another 5 d20, just straight d20s. And I need to see at least one within 10 to 17.
Okay.
I think Crowley's got it.
Oh, okay.
I see at least 2 within 3 within 10 to 17. All right, so here's what happens as things begin to explode. So Janice, in a act of what some say is desperation and others say is tremendous bravery and foresight, Janice overrides tactical console from Sin and lines up a shot on one of the more damaged part of the assimilator. And he dumps as much firepower or as much energy as into this one shot. He's basically pulling a Matic. And, well, they may now call it the Janus. Who knows? He puts all the power he can without totally knocking out the ship into the shot. And his aim is true. So as the phaser array sort of spreads across the connector between the 2 rectangular prisms, it basically acts like a water or a laser cutting through steel. It just lances the ship in half, and the assimilator begins to detonate and explode, sending shrapnel everywhere. It's a very pretty sight, but the ships do rock, and for the moment, you're out of combat.
I'm immediately docking the Roddenberry into the Arcadia,
Okay?
haggardly making my way to sickbay.
Okay. So let's
I'm gonna
cut
Put
this.
I'm gonna put my sword away and just like hobble over to my console. Just damage report.
Okay. Let's resolve sick bay, and then I'll get your damage report.
Okay.
All right. So Matic is in a restraining field over here. I should probably get a bigger sick bay. I'm gonna make a note of that. Bigger sick bay. All right. And where's Crowley? Crowley, you walk into sick bay. You're starting to look a little gray. And,
Doctor,
I see. Over to the bio bed.
I'll make it over there.
All right.
I will also again put a restraining field around the commander.
Okay. All right. So, in order to halt the assimilation,
And I will attempt to remove the tube damage.
okay. In order to stop assimilation, I need you to roll me a control plus medicine. The difficulty here is a 4.
Would Andromeda be assisting here?
She can indeed, yes.
Okay.
You said, I'm sorry, my headset accidentally muted. It was
That's
control and medicine, right?
Correct.
And I need a 4.
You need to get 4 successes, yes.
Let's see here. I'll roll for Andromeda.
All right. Andromeda would be rolling the same thing, and her regenerative medicine would apply here.
So be control and medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what are we looking at as far as... do we have any momentum right now?
You got nothing.
Okay, oh boy.
You just be 1.
And can I use emergency medicine focus
Yeah.
on this?
Definitely.
Okay, what am I thinking here? Could I possibly try and use one of her values again? It'll be different from the one I used last time.
What would the value be?
I'm not alone anymore, possibly.
I mean, Crowley is the first person she talked to.
Oh, that's sentimental.
I'll allow it. Sure, why not?
Okay, cool.
So that
Then-
means Andromeda has 2 successes on the board.
A little techno tear goes down her
Ooh,
face.
shit.
Ooh.
All right. So this is now where we have to devolve into an extended task. So,
This is bad.
Sabo and Andromeda do their best to, stop the assimilation rate, but either simply because of how the injury was sustained or simply because that these nanoprobes are wily little bastards, everything you do just seems to be stymied and stopped before any progress can be made.
I
And
have something.
you do have something.
I want to say that the reason for the complication, if you're allowed, they're ripping apart the prosthetic lung to make them to manufacture more nanites quickly. That's probably why they can't deal with it.
So now Crowley is also gasping for air. He is starting to lose lung capacity. And before we do the extended task, did you have any medicine babble or bio babble? I guess would be the word for it. Any bio babble ideas?
I'm drawing a blank here, guys. I'm still a bit stunned over my horrible roll there.
Well, Andromeda will offer one if you would allow me to offer one.
Sure, yeah.
And it's probably one Matic would suggest if he was here. But Andromeda will say, Lieutenant Commander, we can attempt to use my own nanoprobes to defeat the Borg ones.
Indeed. This sounds like a more than reasonable suggestion, Andromeda.
Yes, though this would be the first time we've tried it on anyone. I honestly don't know if it would work or what the side effects would be.
Well, I believe that we are running out of options at this point, so I believe that this would be our best course of action.
All right, so she grabs a hypo spray, presses it against her suit, and you see filling up in the little tube. You know how nanoprobes are usually gray? Hers are sort of the pink or purple color that seems to be associated with her energy expenditure. And it actually glows. The solution just glows, and she hands you the hypo spray.
Okay, I'll take the hyper spray and immediately inject into the commander.
All right, so I'm going to handle this in a narrative fashion because I think it's better, and because we've done a lot of rolling already. So, Commander, for the first 30 seconds after injection, you don't feel anything except whatever the Borg probes are doing. But then there's a massive shock of electricity throughout your entire system. Your vision blinds you, like you're no longer able to see. There's just sort of a blinding sort of light behind your retinas. And you experience what might be the most tremendous pain you have ever felt or possibly will ever feel in your entire life. It is simply undescribable, the agony you are within. However, and this is something both Sabo, Matic, and anyone else in sickbay will notice, even though your mouth may open to scream in agony, there is no sound coming out of it. And this lasts for minutes. And Sabo, I'm going to let you and Andromeda kind of, figure out what to do, but that is what you're seeing at the moment, is just Crowley. His entire body is tensed, and he is in extreme pain from what you can see.
While that's happening and my body's reacting, am I able to just, am I able to, make my mind drift somewhere? Like a safe place?
I think this would be a good time to use some form of command or con. Let's do a control plus con. And if you have composure, that would be a good focus. And the difficulty was going to be a 4, so there you go. So yeah, Crowley, thanks to your mental fortitude and training, you're able to put it bluntly, you're able to keep sane.
While this is happening, like, in his mind, he's in a burning hallway. He's back on the Donager, and he's just sitting next to the door. He's just talking. And he can just hear his mom on the other side. She's talking back with him, and he's just sitting there. He's talking about what happened, and that how much he regrets ignoring his family for a few years. He doesn't know if he's going to make it, and if he doesn't, he gets to see her at least.
Very somber. I like it.
I have a quick question.
I might have an answer.
Actually, this will be more of a question for Crowley. Would I be picking up on the thoughts of immense pain? I would assume.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
say every Betazoid on the ship is probably picking it up.
I'm immediately rushing to sickbay. If I can assume that's where he is.
Probably a safe bet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm rushing there.
All right. So, Sabo, as you sort of witness this, does it occur to you to do anything, or are you just sort of in a wait-and-see mode at this point?
Well, Sabo's going to be monitoring his vitals. Wait, is anything like in obviously he's in extreme amounts of pain, but are any of his vitals within like redlining or anything?
Basically, all of his vitals are redlining. He is probably seconds away from a heart attack.
Okay, I'm wondering if I should go ahead and maybe do something like inducing some sort of coma or something to try to relieve some stress off of his body.
I mean, that is your call as a doctor.
All right, I believe I'm going to do that.
Okay. This is going to be a daring plus medicine. And we're going to say the difficulty here will be a 3.
We've got no momentum at all, do we?
Could give me threat.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you threat. Well, what do you guys think?
I'm unless somehow we encounter more Borg, I'm fine with it.
Okay, I'll do that. Does that give me 1 extra die?
That depends on how many threat you want to give me. It's the same spend as momentum. So 1 for 1 die, 3 for 2, 6 for 3.
I'll take 2 extra dice just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
That last roll made me nervous. And I'll use that focus, emergency medicine as well.
Mm-hmm. I believe.
Oh,
I didn't believe hard enough. I'm sorry. All right, so how do I want to do this?
Can I use a value here, or a determination?
You certainly can.
Driven to ease suffering.
That would definitely apply.
All right, let's try this again. So that gives me a re-roll of the entire roll, correct?
As many as you want. So I would recommend re-rolling the 3.
Okay, so just roll 3d20.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that gets you the successes you need.
Oh.
All right, so Crowley, and what is probably Sweet Mercy, Sabo kind of comes over with a hypo spray and induces a medical coma. And your transmission of pain throughout the entire ship just stops as, yeah, you're now in a medical coma. As this happens, he, kind of falls back on the biobed and Crowley's vitals stabilize. But you're still seeing a reaction between Andromeda's nanoprobes, the Borg nanoprobes, and Crowley's natural system. Honestly, Doctor, it's at this point it is a wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
So Crowley, I'm gonna say you probably want to pick a supporting character at this point for the rest of the mission, because I'm thinking Crowley is likely going to be out towards. He might be back up by the end of today, but he may not. We'll see.
Oh. And it'll be Wilhelm.
Okay. So, the one thing I will say about Crothers starting to gather the drone bodies is Sin would have immediately had security teams basically corral the bodies and prep to space them. So you would have to convince Sin otherwise.
Yeah, he'll go up to Sin.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
She turns and looks at you and says, yes, Ensign, what can I do for you?
I would like to keep at least one, or half of one. I don't need its organic components. I just need its mechanical components.
You do realize that if we do not space these, we run the risk of the entire ship getting assimilated.
Not from small samples. No. It's. We have an opportunity to understand how they assimilate individuals, and possibly a way to reverse it. I would like to take it for study. I've heard that our engineer and our first officer have been subjected to this. It would save people in the future. It is a horrible thing that is happening to them. It's a horrible thing that will happen to other people. We have a chance to try and understand it, and hopefully reverse it with a lot less issues.
Sin just kind of looks at you, frowns, and says, clear it by the captain.
Right away. And he will book it to the captain.
I will remind you, you do have a badge on your chest that would enable an instant communication with the captain.
Yeah, Krethus is more giddy about playing with more technology. He kind of forgot.
All right, in that case, we will cut to the bridge. Where, Sin isn't there. She's sort of overseeing the destruction of the bodies. But yeah, you guys are kind of, dealing with the aftermath. Oh, right. So the damage report. So in grand total, Captain, and this is Hailong who's reporting this to you. Captain, I'm seeing approximately 7 Borg drones were beamed onto the Arcadia. All of them were dealt with by security or yourself. Nice job, by the way. Other than that, the only sort of damage I'm seeing to the Arcadia is our energy reserves are dangerously low.
They're right on that. Any casualties?
The only reported casualty is Commander Crowley at the moment, sir.
Ouch.
Commander Crowley?
Yes, Medbay reports that he is in a medical coma at the moment.
Understood.
Janice, get back to your seat. What are you doing?
If he actually does it, I'll yell at him to get back to helm.
I imagine it is at this time that Carruthers gets up here.
It can be. I did want to give you time to, confer with bridge personnel or do something before Carruthers got up here.
Yeah, first order of business. Let's start regenerating our power supplies.
Okay.
And I will send a brief message to sickbay to just. I'd like to keep informed on Crowley's status.
Captain, is there a way we can cross-connect the Roddenberry's power systems and ours to recharge ours a little faster? Well, can I make that recommendation to engineering? How about that?
Crowley wakes up and says no. Then goes back in.
What?
I mean, regenerating power was pretty simple. We just let the engine run.
Yeah, you literally just sit there.
And divert power away from non-essential systems, but that probably would have already been done during Red Alert, so And is Milan still up here, or did you go down to sickbay?
I think
I'd be down in sickbay. Yeah.
So you're not
okay
anymore.
Instantera, go, please begin constructing a plan to rescue the remaining life signs on the planet's surface. We will do so as soon as the Arcadia is running properly again.
Actually, sir, if you don't mind, I have somewhat of a plan already.
Let me hear it.
If you'll direct your attention to the view screen. And the view screen changes from basically the debris field that the assimilator left behind to a sort of zoomed in view of the Borg crash site. And she highlights or circles two areas in particular. And she says if the earlier scans from the away team are correct, in conjunction with our own scans, I believe these two areas to be where the other two prisoners are being held. The crew tier, I think, is what we're calling them. Basically, my idea is to use precision phaser fire to disrupt the Borg force fields around those areas so that we can just simply beam those crew tier right back up to the ship.
I imagine that Hylong just like put up a PowerPoint presentation up on the main view screen for that.
Actually, Ensign Terra, but yes.
Okay, yeah. Damn it!
Excellent plan, Inston. If you haven't already, begin the calculations.
Miss Hylong, could you, or I guess she would say Chief Hylong. Chief Hylong, could you help me with this? And Hylong says, yes, I'll help you right away. And she gets up and heads over to go help Terra. And it is now about when Carruthers stumbles out of the turbo lift onto the bridge.
Captain.
I turn slowly around in my chair. Yes, Instant Brothers.
I would like to keep components, segments, and remove pieces from the Borg that have boarded the ship.
Which pieces?
Head, torso, maybe an arm. Lower body is not necessary. I already know how legs work. Heart. Any of the simulation technologies they have inside of their bodies as well. I'll keep them in contained fields as well, just to make sure that they don't roam around. It's just to study further assimilation process and possible ways to reverse it.
I understand. For the time being, let's keep all of them under tight security watch. You're not to experiment them for the moment. However, once Commander Crowley is recovered, you can coordinate this with Dr. Sabo.
So we can put them in a container with airtight seals. That way they can't reactivate, and if they do, they just suffocate. Do they breathe air? It's a study.
You would know, because I think this is standard knowledge. Borg can survive in space, no problem.
We can keep them on ice, as it were, and force fields galore.
I agree. But only if Dr. Sabo signs off of it, and only after Commander Crowley is recovered.
Shall I tell Chief Officer Sin to not space the bodies?
Yes, and make sure that she stores them as securely as possible in a safe part of the ship in case they get out.
So for sake of ease, I'm just going to say one or both of you get Sin's on the horn. And Sin replies over the comms, Sir, I know I don't make many recommendations as your tactical officer, but I must insist we get rid of all but one of the bodies.
Is this acceptable, Ensign Carruthers?
The one that assimilated Crowley, I would like to keep his arm, the one that he used to assimilate him with. We can just keep the arm.
All right, Sin, we're just keeping the arm. Brothers,
Understood, sir. And you hear literally in the background phaser fire commencing, almost like Sin already either had the phaser out or one of her security personnel did. And after a moment, Sin reports, I have one arm, sir. Where would you like it delivered?
bring it to Secure Bio Lab 4.
Understood, sir.
And I'll turn back around and Lieutenant Janice.
Yes, sir.
Nice shooting, Tex.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliment. Just
And
remember that,
I'm going to
that
give
next
him.
time promotion comes up.
Duly noted.
So Hylong actually
Um,
interjects and says, "Well, somebody's eager for a promotion."
How long and Tara are working on it right there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I am interested in that as well, so I will work on that with them.
Okay. Alrighty.
Thank you for the body and the arm, Captain.
I thought it was just the arm.
Yeah, it is literally just the arm.
Oh. Sure.
Yeah, I have noted it down. Don't worry. You have saved one Borg arm. It is noted, and it is true.
Oh, and Carruthers,
Yes, Captain.
I hand you the sword, and it's like, please make sure there's no nanites on this.
Well, if they would have been consuming the metal already, and we converted them over to nanites. And we would all be assimilated by just touching this thing. So,
Well,
Thank
go
you.
ahead and make sure.
he just looks nervous and he's holding it like, yeah, yes, sir.
And if anything happens to it, I just look over my shoulder at Ilong.
And Hylong does the finger across the neck and gives you a "Don't you dare."
You want me to do something to your neck with it?
She just stares at you and doesn't say a thing. She does this for probably about 2 seconds and then just shakes her head and goes back to helping Tara.
Oh, it's a social norm. Okay. I don't get those. I'll be in my lab, Captain.
Thank you, Vincent.
Oh, Carruthers, what would we do without you? All right, so we are kind of at a good break point, so let us take a 5 to 10 minute break. Be back here no later than 5:15 p.m. Eastern, please.
Alrighty.
All right.
The joys of having a mobile headset.
All right, BRB.
I'm back.
Hey.
How long we have you left for, Neelan? Neelan?
Until 5:45. So once we get back from the break, you guys will still have me for a little bit.
Alright, cool. Pretty much for the majority of the session.
Yeah.
Yep, Perk Crowley.
Oh God, I'm nervous about this.
Yeah, his heart's about to stop. Oh gosh!
It's like, oh, you now have to play Carruthers as your full-time character.
I like Carruthers. He is good. If
Oh,
something
yeah,
does
Carruthers
happen to
is great.
Crowley, and if something does happen to Crowley, Carruthers would be my backup.
All right, I'm back. No, I think I have something good for Crowley. I just got to figure out how to handle it mechanically. But yeah, I did want to say thank you to. Let me actually read off these names because we did get some followers already, which puts us over the
Hey.
50 mark. So thank you, everyone. So thank you, Zombie Beast, Exit Pursued by a Bear. That would be our captain. Pandora
Hey.
Wrench, and Riley Wolf 209. Thank you all for following and pushing us over the mark. I really appreciate it. So I guess what that means is after this stream, I'll figure out how to get it enabled. But hopefully by next week, if you feel like subscribing, that can actually happen. That's exciting. Let's see what else is going on in chat. You're not wrong, Sterling. The root beer assimilation by the Federation is insidious. So cure Crowley by giving him root beer. I love it. I don't quite think it works that way, though.
props to the medical shielding though, because even half Vulcans are extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're actually stronger, like in show-wise, like not talking about the adventures, but like in show-wise,
No,
even
you're
Spock
right.
was
Yeah.
stronger than even engineered Khan. Still stronger than an augmented.
As far as, well, I think the big difference between you and an augment is the augments have some sort of biobabble nonsense that lets them sort of push through force fields. Whereas we do see on Voyager that Tuvok, when he's kind of going through his murderous phase, is kept at bay by a simple force field.
Yeah, no, I mean like in terms like of even a half Vulcan can easily trounce an augment human. Like, Spock was able to put a beat down on Khan without Khan laying too much hits on him.
Well, you have to remember this is also Spock just being awesome.
That is true.
Plus, you've sort of missed your chance. You just, what was it, 3 episodes ago, when you had the augments on board?
Oh, I did not want to have to fight augments. Although it would have been fun.
Oh, I don't worry, I had stats and everything prepared in case things got hostile.
I was half expecting her bodyguard to like want to test one of us. I was like, oh, let it be me, because he will get wrecked.
No, I mean, you guys were pleasant enough, and you weren't being dicks, so he didn't feel like he needed to be a dick.
Yeah, I was just like, everyone be nice. Everyone be happy. Like, that's the nice thing. I'm a Vulcan hybrid with a Bazoid. I don't get the whole human augment thing.
This is true. Alright, well, we got about 4 more minutes in our break. Yeah.
Hey, counselor, how messed up is it that Crowley's safe space, is literally moments before his mother was incinerated aboard the Donager?
I'd say that's pretty fucked, honestly.
Like he's just talking with her, and it's like he's talking to himself pretty much, but it's like his subconscious is talking. He's just
I know you're about to die in a few minutes, but let me tell you about some crazy stuff that's been going on.
Yeah, well, I like to think of it like it's like when someone goes to pay a visit to like a family member's tombstone, like they talk to the tomb. It's
Right.
Like, hey, it's like this is what he's doing. Like,
I feel that.
Yeah. Still, it means Milan's gonna write a fucking book on your condition. I mean, he could probably get nominated. Like, he's gonna win some awards for this.
Yes. I basically become the Tyrion Darrington of our group. I write a book and it becomes a bestseller.
No, it's a hollow novel. It's a hollow novel. There you go.
Great.
That's right.
All right. Is everybody back?
I am back.
Aye, aye.
All right. Janice, are you here?
Yep, I'm back in Crawley's chair.
Mm.
All right, let's get rid of the big BRB on screen then. Alrighty. So at this point, we do have a bit of a time skip, simply because there is a few things I want to get done during the session, so hopefully nobody minds. So in particular, we're going to skip approximately 4 hours into the future. It is at this point that the combined efforts of Terra and Hailong bear fruit. And Terra looks up and says, Captain, I do believe I have a appropriate firing solution.
All right. Let's display the simulation.
All right. So she sends the information to Sin, who, of course, inspects it herself. And at the same time, there is a sort of a hollow simulation displayed on the view screen. And you basically see what is the equivalent of the phasers at very low and precise power carving a hole into the surrounding metal. And after that, there's a simulated beam up. And yeah, it seems to work. And after going it over herself, Sin says, I think we're good, Captain. I will say, because it is a possibility, there is approximately a 10% chance that we either damage the system or not damage the system, damage the aliens we're trying to rescue, or outright kill them.
10% is not acceptable.
I'm in agreement, sir, but given the circumstances and the fact that if we don't rescue them, they're going to become Borg. Honestly, I haven't talked with our guest a whole lot, but I'm guessing he would probably agree that death is preferable to assimilation.
If we got a couple crewmen on the ground, could we put any beacons to make this more accurate?
And this is still Sin talking. Well, sir, we could do that. However, from sensor readings, there are approximately 30 drones now active in the crash site. So it could be another away team, but I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Well, I'd like to at least run this by our guest, and I will call to him on my comm badge and ask if he would join us in the conference room on the bridge.
Sure. And I actually have to look up his name because it's not in my notes. Where is his name? There it is. Zraklalif. I remember you. The name I picked that I can't say. All right. So he will more or less show up in the conference room, and he is currently being escorted by 2 security personnel. But he is ready and waiting for you in the conference room.
Okay, let's bring in Sin and Terra
Okay.
to give him the tech.
All right. So, Zraklalif does kind of take your spot, but
I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I saw that, Janice.
yeah. Every opportunity, man. So Zraklalif does sort of incline his head a little bit and says, Captain, to what is the purpose of this meeting?
Well, my crew has devised a plan to rescue your colleagues. However, it is not without its dangers, although it is their assessment that this is the overall safest path, and, well, we might as well show you.
All right.
Is
So
it Terra?
Terra and Sin go through the whole simulation, explaining it the whole time. And at the end of it, Zraklalif just kind of pauses and then says, in my people, imprisonment is not preferable. Thus, I would personally accept the risk of death or injury were it mean to no longer be caged.
I think your people have a similar view of this as I do, or rather, assimilation is the worst fate that we would fear. But if you approve, then we can go forward with this plan.
That is acceptable. I would only ask that I be the one to push the button.
I assume that's okay. Let's do it.
All right. So, you kind of come back out onto the bridge, and Sin does kind of get the prep work ready. And she says, Sir, we are ready to fire phasers on your command.
I'll turn around, Cliff.
All right. So, Zraklalif does press the indicated spot on the console by Sin. And you see off the forward view screen, you see phasers arc down towards the planet. I do need, because I wanted to handle this in a more narrative fashion, I need pretty much anyone. I need 2 D100s or 2 D10s, whichever you feel like rolling. If you roll a 90 or above, or a 9 and above, or hold up. If you roll a 10, or if you roll a 91 or above, then unfortunately they will suffer injury or death, and I will roll for that if that's the case.
Well, I approved this mission, so I guess I should roll.
Okay.
So 1d100?
2d10 is probably actually the easiest. And we don't want to see 10s here.
4 and 9.
All right, they're fine. So, sure enough, it turns out that Terra and Hailong's calculations are right on the money. And right as the opening opens in the crash site, Sin coordinates with Hailong, and after a moment, Hailong says, Sir, I am pleased to report that we have 2 more crew tier on board. I currently have them in Transporter Room 2.
Sin, if you would escort our guests to meet them, I think they would all appreciate that.
Understood, sir. Shall I assign them quarters?
Please do, but hopefully their stay will be temporary. And Ensign Terra, or Chief Hailong,
Yes, sir.
please begin scanning the Borg wreckage.
Anything I should be looking for?
Transwarp coils.
Oh, I see where you're going with this, Captain. Sure, one moment. And, yeah, Hailong's going to roll a reason plus science. And we'll say the ship is assisting with sensors and science. And I'm going to make the difficulty of 4. However, I am going to do a roll here privately. The stream will see it. But basically, this will determine your luck if there is a transwarp coil. So you still could... Basically, what I'm saying is you could still succeed the roll, but not get a transwarp coil.
The bridge is so lonely now.
It is. It is indeed. All right, so who's rolling for Hailong?
Crowley, you want to roll?
Sure.
All right. So reason science from Hailong.
Reason science from Hailong.
And I'm pretty sure she has a focus.
Oop.
Okay. Let's see what the ship rolls. The ship does need a success here in order to possibly find some coils.
And the ship is rolling
Sensor science.
science.
All right. So Hailong does her best. She does give the crash site a good scan, but she says either no transwarp coils survive the crash, sir, or our sensors just aren't pinpointed. Oh, wait, no, I didn't account for difficulty. It would have been reduced by 1. All right, hold on. Well, it would help if I actually rolled dice instead of just typing numbers. Okay. So Hailong instead reports, Sir, I am detecting what might be a transwarp coil. I can't really assess whether or not it's viable for use, though. Either one of us would have to beam down, or we'd have to beam it up here.
Oh, she was checking the planet.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it...
Oh.
We'll say for sake of argument, she scans both the wreckage of the assimilator and the planet.
Okay. Yeah, let's beam it up here.
Okay. Let's just handle it narratively. So Hailong goes to the transporter room because she doesn't want to, risk doing it not in person. And after about 5 minutes, she calls up to the bridge and says, "Sir, I believe I have a mostly intact transwarp coil here."
Thank you. Let's go ahead and start working on getting this onto a runabout, one that can hopefully fit all of our passengers.
I actually have to look at the Arcadia sheet. How many runabouts do you have?
Or sorry, no, any warp capable shuttle, right? Because we're replacing the coils.
Right. Could give him the captain's yacht. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So the only well, right now the options are the Roddenberry, the yacht, a Type 9 shuttle, or one of the Type 5s. Excuse me.
Starfleet probably doesn't want me giving away shuttles, do they?
Probably not. But, I mean, you're in the field, you are the captain.
Type 5, that's just basically just regular warp capable.
Mm-hmm.
And would it fit everyone?
All the crew gear, I'm assuming. They wouldn't be comfortable, but it would fit them, yeah.
Alright, I want to start doing some calculations on how long their journey would be in the Type 5 versus maybe one of the other shuttles.
Well, let us consult the Holy Memory Alpha and find out. Type 5 shuttlecraft. Maybe it's a Type 6. Let me check. Yeah, it's a Type 6 I'm thinking of. Alright. Let's see. Type 6 can go... What is your top warp speed? Of course, they don't mention the top speed, because that would just be convenient. Well, it's got to go warp something, because that's the same one they gave to Scotty.
Type... Which type we're looking at?
Type 6.
Type 6. Oh, I don't even have those here, but even a Type 9 only does warp 6.
Alright, we're just going to hand wave it. It might be wrong, but, we're going to say that the Type 6 can maybe go maximum of warp 5.
Okay. And we don't know anything about the crew tier's technology level, do we?
You got no idea.
How many trips do we think we can get out of these coils?
Hailong reports, who has, taken it to a lab and begun working on it. Sir, I think maybe one, if that.
So it's a one-way trip?
Indeed, sir.
There isn't any wreckage of a crew tier shuttle, is there?
No, there is not.
I'd like to meet with Zrokliff.
Okay. Your ready room, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second to move some tokens. There you go. Oh, grid's still on. Hold on. There you go. So, Zokralif, whose name has reset for whatever reason, he comes in and he says, Captain, I am pleased to report that my people are safe. We are still missing some, but I believe their deaths to be inevitable. I do not mourn them. I celebrate their freedom.
I'm sorry for your losses and grateful for any that have survived. I wanted to ask you if I'm trying to think of a way to get you back home. But I don't know very much about your species. Can you tell me about the kind of technology you used to get here?
Our species only has sublight travel, which I have been informed means something about violating a prime directive. I do not know what this prime directive is, but the security officers, which have questioned us a few times, have mentioned it.
It means that we don't interfere with the technological or social development of other species, and we often use warp travel as a shortcut for determining this, but it's not the be-all or end-all factor. Nevertheless, your natural development has already been altered by the Borg. I think we can both agree that neither of us would be in this situation if it were not for them.
We are in agreement, yes.
So I'm about to do something that many might consider breaking that prime directive. And I don't do it casually, but you deserve it. So I want to give you a shuttle to get you back home, but my people will have to train you how to use it.
That is extremely gracious of you, Captain. I was already resigned to the fact that we may never see home again. This restores my hope, for which I must thank you.
I can't guarantee that this mission will be a success. We believe this coil will only work once. It will get you home and will probably never work again. And it may not get you all the way home.
Well, I leave that decision to you. We are at your mercy. We are your guests. We shall take whatever risks you will allow us to take.
Well, as long as you are capable of piloting the ship, and that my team believes that you are prepared to do so, then I'm happy to help you this way. If not, we can find a system here and try to find the best life for you.
Understood.
You're always welcome to stay in the Alpha Quadrant. It's certainly better for my career, but the happiness and safety of your people is more important than any talking down to I might get from a superior.
That being the case, I shall discuss matters with my fellow brethren, and I shall let you know what they say.
Please do, and let's hope for the best.
Indeed. And then, he feels the conversation is done, so he starts to make for the door.
Yep.
Okay. So, the moment you're alone again, there's a flash of light and the ominous sound that signals a cue, coalescing into existence. However, the cue that appears before you, is not the one you were expecting. Where is it in my notes? Before you, laying on your couch, is a 2-meter tall humanoid woman with dark skin. She bears a striking resemblance to the Serato Draco in that she has both scaling and extremely impressive horns. However, it's almost as if you're looking at a proto-version, quote-unquote, of the Serato Draco. This woman's horns are far larger and more imposing than Hylong's. Her claws are more pronounced. Her scaling's a little bit more prevalent. And her coloring is of a deep gold color that reflects and sparkles in the light. And it also matches her dress. And if it wasn't clear already, her dress is resplendent. And you get the sense, just looking at her, that her entire appearance is meant to inspire both awe and nervousness to all within her presence. And as she sort of appears, she says, "Well, Captain, I was wondering if he'd ever leave."
Captain to security, intruder alert.
Your badge gives the sound that it has not gone through. And the queue says, "Oh, we don't need any of that. You and I need to have a chat, person to person."
And you are?
Well, I am Q.
Oh, another one. Okay. How can we entertain you?
Oh, well, I guess I should say that I'm simply checking in on you on behalf of Q.
Well, the trouble's all gone, but thank you for your concern.
Oh, yes, I saw what a number you did across on those Borg. Very impressive, actually. I was wondering if I'd have to report to Q that his favorite humans were assimilated.
And that would have been no fun, reporting back to your superior.
Oh, no, he is not my superior. It would be best to say that we are colleagues.
Well, what can I do for you now?
Oh, I have a bit of a proposition for you, Captain. I will, and there is a pause, I will take your alien problem, your crew tier problem, and I shall fix it. However, you must pass a test for me first.
Why should I possibly trust you?
Because I'm not Q?
You are Q.
No. Q.
You're losing me.
She sighs and, summons an image of Delancey Q and points at it. Q.
Yeah, you're not Q.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. God, talking to humanoids is so...
I've got the biggest grin right now. I still can't trust you.
No. Maybe you should have some time to think about it. If you need me, just call. And unless you say or do anything to stop her, she'll snap her fingers and disappear again.
Captain to security?
That time it works. And Sin reports, do you need... What's going on in there, Captain?
Can you report to my ready room?
Yes, sir. And not moments later, Sin does pop into your ready room. And she does have her phaser out, and she looks like she's ready for a fight. She takes a sweep of the room and says, okay, sir, what, was this just a test of reflex?
Oh no, the intruder came and went. We just got a visit from a new Q.
She sighs, holsters her phaser, and says, a new one. What was wrong with the old one?
What wasn't wrong with the old one?
Oh, that laugh is in character, by the way. And she says, so did they say why we got a new Q?
She's reporting in for him, but she wants to take our alien problem off of our hands. But she wants us to pass some test. I'm not interested.
Honestly, sir, I cannot recommend in good faith that we accept any deal from a previously untested Q. We don't know how she would react or really respond to any situation. At least the other Q is predictable.
In his own way, yes, but it's strange. It's as if she wants to help my career so that I don't have to risk breaking the Prime Directive.
And though, Captain, you won't see this, but I'm going to describe it for the benefit of everybody listening. Sin sees behind the Captain, basically the head of Q appears, and she kind of points at the Captain, makes a little heart symbol, and then disappears, and then Sin's just sort of there blinking like, okay, sir, I think it's... You know what? It's nothing. It's nothing. You were saying.
Wait, what? Why are you... What are you looking at? I turn around.
I'm guessing the Q that we're talking about was just here a second ago.
Gold horns, scales.
Yeah, that was her.
Why? Well, we just need to carry out, but I want everyone on alert that the Q are interested.
Understood, sir. I will enact Q protocols. And then she pauses and says, "Oh wait, we don't have those. Maybe I should make some."
What good would they be?
I mean, it looked good on our reports.
Carry on.
And she says, "I will get right on that, sir." And I'm assuming you dismiss her?
Yes, and I'm gonna start making my way to Med Bay, assuming that Dr. Sabo is willing to see me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So we got to play out this sick bay here, and I think we have, 5 minutes before Nalan has to bail? Or did he already bail? He already bailed. All right. So it is just going to be you. Where is your token? There is your token. There you go. At the moment, your doctor is currently at his desk, and Andromeda is just sort of monitoring both Crowley and Maddock when you walk in.
I'll go into Sabo's office, and Doctor, I don't want to distract you from your duties right now, but how are they?
Lieutenant Maddox seems to be recovering very well. The commander, on the other hand, it's going to be, as you would say, touch and go. We are monitoring his progress. I was forced to put him under a medical coma as we injected the commander with Andromeda's nanites to counteract the Borg, and we shall just have to wait and see at this point.
I know better than to ask you how you feel about his chances, but a prediction?
It is difficult to say, Captain. I really have no precedent in which to speculate.
Well, if the will to survive counts for anything, I think Commander Crowley is going to be just fine.
Indeed.
All right. Well, if there's anything you need, any resources, you let us know. And you let me know if anything happens.
Understood, Captain.
Okay. I will make myself scarce.
Okay. Alrighty. Any other scenes people would like to get out of the way?
Is Lieutenant Maddock, is he recovering enough that I can release him, or?
I'm going to say that's at your discretion. He is, I would say at this point, it's more of a formality that he's still here in sickbay. But you do have the superpower and probably the obligation to basically put him off duty for the next couple days. But it's your call. You are the CMO.
I mean, he is the chief engineer of the ship, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have him off duty for a day. I mean, we do need it would be nice to have our chief engineer in this situation out, especially after the battle. But I think it's important for him in his recovery process to at least. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
So the only argument that Maddock would put up, or at least I think he'd put up, is, sir, you're going to have to make that time off in order. Otherwise, I'm going straight back to my engines.
You can consider that in order, Lieutenant.
Very well. And he sort of pouts in that very stereotypical Maddock way and goes to his quarters. Leaving you just with Andromeda, Crowley, and I guess a few nurses.
How is Crowley's progress at this point? Is there any progress at all?
There is a noticeable increase in adrenaline, which is odd considering the fact that he's in a medical coma. But it's nothing harmful from what you're seeing.
Do the amount of Borg nanites in his system, do they seem to be decreasing if I take a scan, or?
Why don't we do a scan?
All right.
So that's going to be a reason plus medicine. And the difficulty here, I'm going to only make it 2.
trying to figure if I have any focuses that would help in this.
Well, what you got?
I mean, would xenobiology come into play with Borg nanites?
Not with the Borg nanites, but they would apply to Andromeda's nanites.
Okay, well then we will do that.
Wow, very nice.
Where was that earlier?
So I would recommend spending the 2 momentum you just got to ask further questions. But let me tell you what you got with the success first.
Okay.
So what you're seeing is not only are the Andromeda's nanites more or less attacking and destroying the Borg ones, sort of like a mechanical white cell would be. Andromeda's nanites seem to be doing some sort of transformation process of their own. But as to what, you're either going to have to ask me further questions or do more tasks. One of the two.
Well, first off, Crowley's got that. What's the state of his artificial lung at this point? Because I know that there was some issue with that earlier.
So interestingly, when you go to scan his lung, a complete biological replacement has been generated.
That definitely deserves a Vulcan eyebrow cock. Okay. At the speed that the Andromeda's nanites are progressing, what kind of time frame would I be looking at as far as them being completely eradicated?
I would say you're going to see the culmination of their efforts sometime within the next 6 hours.
And are they having any other effect on his system or on his body other than what I'm already picking up?
They seem to be, and this is probably your last question unless you want to start giving me threat. If I had to give a metaphor or an example, they seem to be messing with his metabolism. And they're doing it in such a way that would be like going up to a plant in real life, like any plant, and subjecting it to ample water, ample sunlight, ample room to grow, basically prime growing conditions. And this increase and basically these favorable conditions will sustain the plant for pretty much until they, stop working. You're sort of seeing the similar effect in Crowley's cells. They seem to be being transmuted into self-sustaining powerhouses.
And I'm assuming that there's a massive regenerative quality to this as well.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to, as per instructions, I'm going to give the captain an update of this information that I've just received, especially noting the regeneration that seems to be in place, and especially the growth of a new lung due to apparently these Andromeda's nanites, which was something that I was not expecting.
Oh, clarify, these are from Andromeda's nanites?
Mm-hmm.
That made me a lot less worried. You, Doctor.
So I'm going to make sure that we can. I'm going to have him clearly under observation.
Okay.
At every given point, I want to make a record and record everything that's going on, so that I can study it later as well.
Okay. Well, not to worry. Andromeda is pretty much not leaving his side since this is
Right.
She probably feels that this is, her fault in some way. She hasn't communicated that fact, but Vulcan logic being what it is, you could probably assume it. But yeah. Yeah, does anyone have any other scenes, or shall we skip ahead 6 hours to when Crowley might wake up?
I think I might have one.
Okay. Where and who with?
I think just my office and with Hylog.
All right. Let's see who's here. Where is Hylong? There's Hylong. All right. So she walks on in and says, "You wanted to see me, sir?"
Yes. Brief side. Before she came in, did I find any references to any Q or deities in like Serrato Draco cultural files?
Roll me a reason plus science, I guess. And the ship is going to assist you with computer science. The difficulty is only a 2.
Can I grab cultural studies as a focus?
Oh yeah, most definitely. All right, let's see if the ship will pull through for you. So who's rolling for the ship?
I was. Computers.
Science. All right. I tell you what. You give me 2 extra threat for next session. I will give you an answer.
That scares me.
You know what? I'm okay.
Okay.
Chief Outline, please sit. As you very well might have heard, we've gotten a visit from a new Q.
Yes. From what Sin was saying on the bridge, I'm curious. Did she look like? And Hylong begins to describe literally inch for inch the Q you just saw.
As a matter of fact, yes.
It's a very strange expression that comes across Hylong's face. It's almost like a mixture between scientific curiosity and maybe a little bit of fear, which is odd because you've never really seen Hylong look scared of anything. And she says, still in a very level voice, well, sir, you are aware that the Serrato Draco are... We used to be a very theological race many millennia ago. Although it was never my area of expertise, all Serrato Draco children are told the myths and legends of those times, and if I'm remembering them properly, that Q would be the reason we Serrato Draco even exist.
What do you mean? Why you exist the way you do today, or?
So there's another flash of light, and guess who shows up? And Q says, "Oh, I messed a little bit with their primordial pools. Maybe made it so life actually emerged on their hellhole of a planet. You know, standard benevolent god type things." And Hylong does almost that Guinan thing when Guinan saw Q, where she kind of puts her hands up between her and Q. And Q sees this and laughs and says, "Oh, that's cute. I'm glad the old legends are still told." And Hylong looks between her and the captain, and her and the captain, and she doesn't really know what to say or do at this point.
At ease, Chief.
So she relaxes a little bit, but you could tell she is still on edge.
Right. So you purport to be a god now, is that right, Q?
I mean, God, Q, what's the difference?
Morality.
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. You know that meteor that hit your planet many, many, many years ago? Or I guess not your planet because you're not human. You're Trill. You know that one planet that hit that hit Earth many, many, many moons ago?
I'm familiar.
What if I were to tell you that it's Q's fault that happened? And that is why he is assigned to humanity.
That sounds about right.
Oh. The comparison I would make then is that is why I am assigned to hers, and she points at Hylong.
What did you do to the Serrata Draco?
I gave them life. Along with a few other species, but nobody really cares about those. And Hylong says, I care about... Okay. Like, Hylong is uncharacteristically meek at this point.
So why have you taken an interest in us today, Q?
Well, this was simply an opportune time for me to appear. I've been watching you for... Oh, what is your silly stardate system like? I've been watching you since your little encounter with those humans from Earth. She snaps her fingers a few times. You call them the augments.
So not that long then, eh?
I suppose in the grand scheme of things, not that long at all, no.
I suppose you still haven't answered my question.
I suppose I haven't. And I should say, if it wasn't clear, she is looking smug as hell at this point.
So, Hylong, can you tell me some of these stories?
Well, which ones would you like to hear?
What about any time anyone's made a deal with Q?
Well, there was a story of a hero of old that bargained with Q, and she says that very hesitantly, to save his tribe from a warring faction. And almost immediately Q smiles and says, yes, him. I remember that tale well. And you gotta give me a few seconds here because I gotta find where the hell it is in my notes. Yes, the Tale of Sidrad. I never get tired of hearing that one. It's one of my favorites.
Tail or Tale?
Sidrad. Cidrad.
Oh, no. Tail or tell?
Oh, Tale. Tale.
Oh, okay. Because they have tails.
Yeah, I saw where you were going with it.
Okay. Very well. And how did that turn out for our hero?
Well, he emerged victorious, and he spent the next 50 or so years basically gathering a community around him, and it's actually said that we owe our first city's founding to his efforts. And Q just sort of nods and says, like I said, benevolent.
All right, Q, I'll humor you. How would you help me?
Well, you have aliens who are very far away from home. I would simply, and she mimics snapping her fingers but doesn't actually do it, I would simply do that, and they would be home.
Yet you want something from us.
There's a little give and take here, yes.
You have to realize I could never agree to something so nebulous.
Oh. Maybe you should ask the right questions then.
What do you want from us?
Well, as I said, I'd like you to pass a little test.
And what test would that be?
Well, your lovely chief just told you all about it.
A hero winning in combat?
Hailong does kind of go, I think she means she wants us to live the story, sir. And Q points at her and says, yes, exactly.
Out of the question. No.
Well, should you change your mind? And she goes to snap her fingers, pauses, and says, oh, and Hailong, make sure that you find the other sword bearer before she comes to you. And then Q vanishes. And Hailong sits stunned for a good minute, and then eventually turns to you and says, okay, ignoring the fact that I literally was just in the presence of one of my people's gods, what does she mean by other sword bearer?
Captain Tahan to Ensign Los.
Los here, sir.
Get your report to my ready room.
On my way.
I'm not about to talk to myself, damn it.
I gotcha.
Do we know? I mean, we know he brought the sword back with him, right?
Yeah. He, much to Hailong's annoyance, he has kept the Mirrorverse sword on his person. Well, not like on his person, but he's kept it.
Okay, and Hailong does know all this.
Yeah. If you remember, Hailong gave him crap for it for several weeks.
Right. Ensign, I've got some potentially bad news from Q.
Profits, you mean? Hopefully?
No Q.
Oh.
You remember your trip to that alternate universe?
How could I forget it?
Well, I think the owner of that sword you got has followed you back.
Mirror Hailong? Oh. Oh. And he looks at Hailong. Oh. Well, sir, I can at least report from a security standpoint that I can assure you that a Mirrorverse version of her is not currently on board. But that is very troubling.
Well, since it does implicate yourself, I did want you to be the first to be made aware.
I appreciate it, sir. If you don't mind, I'm going to coordinate with Lieutenant Sin and see if we can't set up some sort of procedure if we do detect another Hailong.
I think that's well advised. Carry it out. And if you have any questions for me, please just ask.
Will do, sir. And unless you stop him, Los will kind of excuse himself. And Hailong will kind of, start to motion towards the door. Like, sir, do you mind if I get back to the bridge? I have a lot on my mind.
I understand. And sorry if I was rude to your people's deity, but it is Q after all.
Yes, that's slightly disturbing news. Thank you, sir. And she does kind of excuse herself.
All right, I'll start researching that story a little bit more intently, but I don't currently think that I'm going to do that, but I would feel negligent if I didn't explore all possibilities.
I gotcha. All right. So, in that case, the very last scene that will be handled in a narrative fashion is Andromeda in sickbay. Doctor, Crawley, he's waking up.
Okay. I'll go ahead and approach the med bay.
All right, and pretty much the moment you step within range of Crowley, Crowley shoots upright from his prone position, and he's gasping for air, and he's looking around, and he kind of looks down at his hands, and you see that in the palm of each hand there is a glowing purple light, and that is where we're going to end the session. So, hopefully everybody had fun. I know we did a lot of rolling at the beginning. But next week, we return to non-Borg adventures, which should be interesting. But yeah, let me say, again, thank you to all of our Twitch and or YouTube video viewers. I really appreciate it, especially getting over the mark today. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Players, of course, stick around, but let me go ahead and end the recording. Bye-bye.